36. If you're listening to BBC Radio Wales on the internet, then I suggest you have a look at our webcam, quite simply because this studio has turned into an art gallery as we prepare for our next guest. A former amateur boxer from Abercarn has hung up his gloves and picked up a paintbrush instead. Patrick Killian has raised thousands of pounds for charity through his sporting sketches. He can count boxing legends such as Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield as fans of his work. Patrick is with me and he's brought in some amazing paintings. You are a very, very talented man. Patrick, hello, good afternoon to you.
Hey, Jason.
Very nice to see you, Patrick. Thank you very much. So what have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pictures in here, ranging from Calzaghe fighting against Jeff Lacy.
Yeah.
And we've got Wales winning the RBS Six Nations. That looks like 2005. Yeah, I can see Gavin Henson in that one, and Shane Williams scoring a try. Prince Naseem Mohammad, the Prince, what a fighter he was. Nigel Mansell, World Formula 1 champion, and the legend that is Mike Tyson. Wow. So when did you start painting?
Well, I've been painting all my life, you know, since I was a kid, really. But more, I've taken it more seriously now since leaving college. I went to college in 1991 after school, and then I was there for 2 years in Carmarthen, in Crosskeys first, sorry, and then I went on to do an illustration course in Carmarthen, and then the rest is history. You know, I've been at this now for the last 18 years. It's been interesting.
Yeah, but also you're a boxer though as well. When did you love boxing?
I did. I mean, that was in 91. The club started in Cumcan Amateur Boxing Club.
Did you like boxing as a kid?
Yeah, I didn't start, to be honest, Jason, until I was 16.
That's quite late.
I had my first fight when I was 18. Because I actually had a heart murmur when I went for the medical. But they said there's nothing wrong with you. You know, you're fit as a fiddle. They said that a lot of athletes get heart murmurs, and I did okay. You know, I had 45 amateur senior bouts, and I won about 35, and I did okay.
What were you? What weight?
I started off at welterweight, and then I went on to light middle. I won a title at light middle back in 1997. So I'm showing my age now.
Yeah.
But
So it's very unusual, isn't it?
It is unusual, to be honest.
To be a boxer and also to have this remarkable skill of being able to paint. Because I don't want you to blush here, but you are very good. Your illustrations are
thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks.
Terrific. This one of Joe Calzaghe taking on Jeff Lacy, that is just magnificent.
Well, that was quite an important one, really. I mean, I think Joe would say the same thing. That was a defining moment in his career. I mean, after he beat Jeff Lacy, his career just rocketed. I mean, he proved to the world that he was the best, and it was quite funny, really, because I knew myself that Joe would beat Lacy, and the way that he did it, I just had to capture that on canvas. And Joe have actually signed. This was a limited edition of just 41. That was the number of fights Joe had up to that fight, and Joe had signed all of these. He came to the house. He came to the studio.
Has he signed this one?
Yeah. He signed a lot of them.
And is this for sale?
Yeah. These are all for sale. There's not many left of these. To be honest, they're strictly limited. Just 41 of these 20 by 24 prints, all signed by Joe and his.
And this image, where's that from? Is that from?
Well, it is from the fight. I mean, I've used video footage. Photographs, a lot of different footage, to create my own painting.
But basically, what you've done here then is that have you paused the DVD then?
Yeah,
Calzaghe's fight against Jeff Lacy.
I do that a lot
in your studio and painted from that.
Yeah, but also just getting the sort of atmosphere of the night, the crowd. It just it just shows on the piece there that catching Jeff and the spatter of blood coming from Jeff. Just showing the shots and the speed from Joe.
It's amazing. It's
Cheers,
really good painting. And you've met some of these legends as well. You've obviously met Joe, but you've met Mike Tyson a few times.
Yeah, I've been really lucky, to be honest. I mean, this is something I set out to do, and I mean, meeting Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield. I mean, it's been a dream come true.
How did you meet those guys?
I actually, Mike was over here for the UK tour. a few years back.
Mike, first name.
Mike, sorry, yeah.
Mike.
And you know, I contact the promoters of these events, and I say what I do, and they're basically very interested in me having their painting, you know, live. So to meet them as well is a real sort of, it's brilliant, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked up at these guys in my sort of amateur days, and you know, to meet them and to actually paint them and to get them to sign my work is well.
What's he like?
On a number of occasions, I met Mike. You know,
He looks intimidating.
yeah, he was on one or two occasions. I think I might have approached him at the wrong time, but you know, the last time I met him, it was a brilliant time, because he actually made an effort to come over, look at all my work, and you know, he was happy to sign a number of pieces. But the first one I did on Mike back in '95, when I was actually still in university, he actually loved that image, and he had a number of posters off me for his UK tour. So that was nice that Mike was keen to have them.
The thing with boxing as well, what you've captured with Mike Tyson and Calzaghe is not only the drama of the night, but also the level of detail. I mean, you know, you've got that painting that you brought in there of Mike Tyson in action in 3 of the shots, and also posing as well with his arms in the air. What you've managed to capture is just how fit he was and the condition he was in.
Yeah, my style's changing mine over the years, to be honest. I mean, I'm to produce a piece like this in oil, it does take a lot of work, a lot of time, and unless it's a commission, you know, it's you know, unless you're paid to do that, I mean, it's very difficult. So my work is slowly sort of getting into more contemporary, a more quicker style, I guess. I still paint realistically.
So somebody could come to you and say, Patrick, you know, my hero was George Best.
Oh,
Can you do me a painting of George Best?
Yeah, I do this regularly. I mean, Facebook for me lately has been, you know, fantastic.
That's where you get your orders from.
Yeah, I mean, I'm posting stuff. For me, it's just a promotional tool. It's fantastic. I mean, all the Facebook.
I suppose social networking has changed the game, isn't it? Really, you don't have to go around to display your work.
I mean, to be honest, I'm probably making, you know, there's more work coming in from Facebook than my website. You know, it's it is really good.
Have you met Muhammad Ali?
We went over in 2010. Actually, going to these events with Tyson. I was producing these Amongst Legends pieces where the actual winning bidder can be in the painting. Now, I was looking for reference online of Ali and Tyson, because I was going to do a painting of Muhammad Ali versus Tyson. Obviously, that's a fight that everybody would have loved to have seen. And on looking for reference, I actually came across a site. It was an advert for Celebrity Fight Night in 2010. And this is Muhammad Ali's charity event. And this happens every year. Well, I contacted the sort of director of the company, and he sort of, after I emailed him, I had a phone call straight away saying that he fell in love with the idea. He wanted me to go over for the next event, and they flew me over in 2010 to actually paint live at the event. So I produced this painting of, luckily, doing the Tyson events at that time, I managed to get one signed by Tyson. I obviously explained to Tyson that it was for a charity event, and then flew to Phoenix, Arizona. They put me up over there in a 5-star hotel, and painted live on the charity event, and so that was a fantastic experience. You know, I've seen Ali sort of sign the piece, but he's in such a, you know, he's on stage in a wheelchair, so it's very...
It's so sad,
it is really sad to see, to be honest.
He is my all-time sporting hero icon.
Oh, you know, I mean, he was unbelievable. I mean, to see him like he is now is quite upsetting, really.
And really sad news last week, Ken Norton dying as well.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Grew up with all those. Listen, it's not just sport as well. You brought in some Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction as well. I love this. Now, explain to the listeners what this is. Just paint a picture.
Well, I came up with the idea... Yeah, back in 2008.
This is brilliant.
I came up with an idea. I was at a show with Tony Andrews of Under the Post, and we were doing a Jason Leonard event, and we wanted to do something a bit different. And he said, well, let's make the hooker the winning bidder. And I just sort of fell in love with the idea, and I just went away. I created a website, amongstlegends.com, and over the last 6 years, I sort of produced about, I'd say, 40 these paintings for testimonials and sporting
rugby
events.
players and sporting
all sporting events. But now, obviously, what you see here is some Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction. I exhibited last month at the Cardiff Film and Comic Convention, and I'm up in London next month. So I sort of come up with these ideas. I mean, you've actually got the opportunity here to be a hitman with,
part of movie history.
In the film.
So if I want to be, because Pulp Fiction is one of my favourite movies,
Right.
and so I'll just describe it for the listeners. You've got a shot there of Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta, and they are in their amazing black crisp suits with white shirts, black ties. They're holding a pistol up, but instead of the two of them, this is an iconic shot. Basically, there are three people.
I've actually pulled them apart and actually added another person.
You've added another person, and I could be in the middle.
So whoever buys this painting, it's got a chance to be in the painting.
How much is that?
Well, when I've done these at events before, these have gone for like 2,000 to 3,000.
I bet they have.
But obviously this wouldn't be signed by the stars.
No.
So I'd probably be looking around 800.
800 for this.
But I would then add, whoever buys the piece, I would add them in.
You'd put my face in there, would you?
And I would email back and forth until they are happy with the piece,
Yeah. So 800 quid for me on, what is it? What sort of material?
This is on canvas.
For me on canvas with Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson
you could
in Pulp Fiction.
in the film.
For 800 quid?
Yeah. In 100 years' time, Antiques Roadshow, that guy was not in the film.
Was he in the film? That's a good question for quiz break. Okay, more from you in just a moment, Patrick. You're a great guest. You're a great artist. We'll talk more in just a moment. One Owl City Fireflies. So we're talking to Patrick Killian, who's raised thousands of pounds for charity through his sporting sketches, counting boxing legends such as Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield as fans of his work. And the studio here at Radio 5, BBC Radio Wales, has turned into an art gallery. Pictures of Joe Calzaghe taking on Jeff Lacy, wonderful images of Wales winning the Grand Slam in 2005, the Prince Naseem Hamed, who I met at the Crucible. Have you met Prince Naseem recently?
Yes, that was a nice... I met Naz last year in Wentworth Golf Club.
Yeah.
Actually, I was exhibiting at...
you get around, don't you?
Yeah, I was exhibiting actually at a boxing show. I think it was the O2 Arena.
Yeah.
And Naz just comes up and starts looking at my piece of work. And I just look at him and say, that's bloody, it's Naz. So,
because let's just say that he doesn't look in the same condition as he did when he was fighting. I met him in the Crucible Theatre because he likes his snooker, and he was in the green room. So I went in there and I was thinking to myself, I recognise that fella. Yeah. Who's that guy over there? I recognise him. And then he started speaking, and I recognise that guy. It's Prince Naseem.
Yeah, he's a little bit overweight, but. In fairness,
what a fighter he was! I saw him in Cardiff Arms Park fight Steve Robinson. Do you remember that fight?
Oh, fantastic!
Not for Steve.
Well,
lost the title.
But this was actually this was one of my first prints, produced in 1997, and believe it or not, 1997, and then over 10 years down the line, I actually get to meet Naz. And he invites me to Wentworth Golf Club because he lives near the club to sign the last in the edition of my prints, and I had about 50 left.
Yeah.
And we sort of we met up. I met him at Wentworth. We had a good chat. I produced 2 commissions for him for Naz, and he loved the pieces I did. And then we got on quite well. And he said, I don't do this very often, but come back to the house. And I'll sign the last prints.
That's amazing.
So
that's signed, is it?
Yeah, sweet.
That one there is Naz's sign.
Yeah,
signature.
So he signed the last in the edition. I think there's only about 10 left now. These are they're all signed. So.
What about Nigel Mansell? Because what did Nigel Mansell?
Well, he runs a UK youth charity event, and I was commissioned by the the charity organisation, they got back to me and said, look, can you produce us a piece of for Nigel Mansell? And then we'll do some prints of it, and then they can auction them off at the event. So I did a limited edition of just 20 of that original oil painting, which you can see there's one of the prints on the bottom there. Yeah. But for that event as well, they also commissioned me to produce a very a special piece of John Surtees, Nigel Mansell, Damon Hill, Lewis Hamilton, and Jensen Button. And there's one more there, but I actually can't remember his name. But Nigel Mansell actually took this to Silverstone and got it signed by all six stars, and actually raised 13,000 at auction. Yeah, so that was fantastic to be part of that.
That's amazing. Yeah. And tell us about your Fighting Irishman painting.
Well, that's a really sort of something that set me off really. Back in 2005, I had an email from Jim Houlihan, who was he's a real estate. They run a real estate company back in New York, Houlihan Pans, and he's curated this exhibition called the Fighting Irishmen, and it's a world tour exhibit. Started in 2006. I produced the original mural painting for this event. It's 5 foot by 3.5 feet, and it consists of 47 fighters through history, Irish American fighters. And the exhibit is just a fantastic exhibit. It's actually travelling the world now. It's been started in New York. It covers all Irish American theme. It's got John L. Sullivan's fur coat, punch bags, Jake Kilrain's the last bare knuckle fight. It's got his silk ribbon that he wore on his shorts. Absolute amazing event. Yeah. Started in New York.
Why is one of the producers of the programme in here? Why is he in here? He just walked in with a painting. What's he done? You up to something?
Well, maybe there's a bit of a surprise actually.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
All right, he's walking.
I've actually done you a little something, Jason.
Oh, look at that! That's amazing! Wow.
You got a little bit more hair on there, mate.
You put a lot of hair on it. Thank you very much. Wow, this is incredible. How long did it take you to do?
I started that the other week. It's like, again, it's a little bit different in style, obviously with a palette knife, and also obviously brush as well. But yeah, it's not.
You've taken this image from the website, haven't you?
I have. You know, the red at the back.
The red background.
I wanted to capture that in it. I wanted to. Yeah.
You've done me very well there.
Thank you nicely there. Yeah.
So you got me in an old. I got rid of that suit now and the.
Well, you still look smart. Yeah. So you know.
Tailor jacket that was.
You can put it up in the studio somewhere. I think it'd be or your new house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's really, I'm touched. Thank you very much indeed, Patrick.
No problem.
So where can some of my listeners see your work? Because we've had a number of calls from people saying, I want to see some of Patrick's work.
I've got a website, www.killianart.com, or you can go onto my Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/KillianArt. That's KILLIAN.
I can't stop looking at the picture. I can't stop looking at myself.
No, it's nice. I'm glad you.
We're going to tweet some pictures actually. Okay, Patrick.
Fantastic. Yeah.
We're going to take some pictures of these amazing images. Some of our production team have come down to take some pictures because they are absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. It's really nice to talk to you, Patrick.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Right, Benaz is here. Benaz.
Jason, your teeth looks amazing.
Well, I know.
Oh my
I know. He's
God.
given me great teeth, hasn't he?
You've got great teeth, but they look
even better
extra
there.
Hollywood
style. And
style.
he's also waxed my eyebrows as well. Thank you, Patrick. Great job.
You look awesome.